One of the stories within the royal family that is not talked about much and that seems to come out of fiction is that of Prince Philip's mother. Alice was born in Windsor Castle in 1885 during the reign of her great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. From a very young age, she showed a certain delay in her development, so she was treated by several doctors who diagnosed her with congenital deafness. Alice learned as a child to read lips and speak in several languages, mainly English and German. Years later, she would learn French and Greek. In 1902, Alice met Prince Andrew of Greece and Denmark during the coronation of King Edward VII of England. The following year, Alice and Andrew got married. The royal couple had 5 children, 4 girls and 1 boy, Prince Philip. The situation of the Greek royal family took a dramatic turn after the failed invasion attempt in Turkey. Andrew was forced to resign his post in the army, and the monarchy was overthrown. During this troubled period, Alice found her purpose in life: philanthropy. Since her childhood, she had already collaborated with her aunt, the Duchess Elizabeth Fyodorovna of Russia, in the founding of a religious order of nurses. But during the war, Alice had the initiative to set up mobile hospitals and train nurses for the war efforts. When Prince Philip was just a year old, his family had to go into exile in France. During this time, Alice turned to religion. After experiencing constant mental breakdowns and visions, in 1930 she was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and placed in a sanatorium in Switzerland. She was evaluated by the famous Sigmund Freud there, but she too was subjugated to all kinds of torturous treatments, including constant radiation. She only spent 2 years in the sanatorium, from where she escaped to live incognito in Europe, but all ties with her family were broken forever. In 1937, her daughter Cecile, along with her husband and children, died in a plane crash. She had given birth on the plane. During the funeral, Alice saw her husband and children again after many years, in a short and cold encounter. Alice returned to Greece the following year, where she devoted herself, body and soul, to her philanthropic work as a Red Cross volunteer, also founding shelters for orphaned children and dangerously flying to Sweden to gather supplies. During the occupation of Greece, Alice took in and hid a Jewish family for which decades later she was named a hero of the Holocaust by the British government. In 1947, Alice saw her son again at an event that would be seen as a relief after the horrors of war, Philip's wedding to then Princess Elizabeth. Alice de Battenberg returned in 1953 for the coronation of her daughter-in-law, Queen Elizabeth II. It would take her more than a decade to see her son and her family again. In the late 1940s, Alice founded her own religious order of nurses, which she called the Religious Community of Martha and Maria. During the 1950s, she was traveling in search of other religious visions, and it was on one of her trips to India that her health deteriorated exponentially. In 1967, Alice decided to accept her daughter-in-law's invitation to move permanently to Buckingham Palace for the last years of her life. The life of the woman who always put herself before any obstacle came to an end on December 5, 1969. Princess Alice of Battenberg died next to her son Philip and her brother Louis Mountbatten. Alice always led a life far removed from the luxuries that her position offered her. All her precious possessions and her fortune were used to help others. Alice did not leave behind any belongings or inheritances.